In 2003, the cost of tuition at University of California was around $3,500. Currently, in 2015, the tuition cost at UC is now $13,500 per year. Who knows, in 2025, the tuition cost may be $28,000. That's just a wild guess. When I went to college, which is eons ago, my total college expenses was only $5,000 per year, which included housing and food. Currently, I have 2 sons in college, and it's pretty close to $33,000 per student per year. And so for me, that's pretty close to $70,000 per year. And that's why I need to work at Northrop until the day I die. In case you are not aware, the cost of education is increasing all the time due to various factors. When our economy is not doing well, one of the areas that often suffer budget cuts is education. Some of you are well aware of this, as some of you may still be paying off your student loans from undergraduate or graduate programs. My husband and I raised 2 boys who have gone through the public school system, and we have personal experience. For example, in my son's high school year a few years ago, due to budget cuts, a number of high school staff, such as the counselor, librarian, and some teachers, got a pink slip at the end of the school year. But our school district has a very good educational foundation, and they were aware that this might happen. So they were actively raising funds all the time to prevent such a disaster. And because they raised money to prevent the disaster, they were able to save these jobs. And my sons were able to keep the same high school counselor throughout their high school years. And this counselor was very helpful to them in helping them to prepare for college, to write lots of recommendations for their scholarship applications and college applications. Now that my sons are both in college at UCLA, we see that the education financial shortfall doesn't only impact primary and secondary schools, but it impacts colleges and universities as well. At UCLA, my husband and I have been serving on the UCLA Parents Council. That's why I wore my Parents Council shirt today, to prove to you that I'm on the Parents Council. I never thought I'd be doing volunteer activities while they're in college. But my husband signed us up, and we have absolutely loved it. So this year we're actually serving on leadership in the Parents Council. Being on the Parents Council, we find out a lot of information about the university. And we learned some financial information from the philanthropy office about the university's budget. So right now I want to ask you all, what percentage of the California state budget do you think goes to the University of California? What are some guesses? 2%. 2%?
5?
5,
huh?
yeah.
3%?
7.
5%? 7%? 7% is the right answer. Actually, it used to be a lot higher years ago, but the numbers have dramatically gone down over the years. And how much do you think accounts for the total UC budget that they get from tuition?
12%?
12%?
You're saying
Yeah, what
percent?
percent?
Their budget is from tuition.
99%. 99%. They keep raising it, so you think it's a lot higher, but the actual percent is 8% that they get from tuition. So here's a pie chart that shows 7% from the state budget, 8% from tuition. So the rest, 85%, needs to come from other sources of funding. And that's why schools like UCLA have to do a lot of fundraising. And having been involved with UCLA in recent years, I know the school has a lot of good programs they offer. For example, not every student who attends UCLA are from middle to upper class families. Some of these students are actually foster kids, and they might not have enough money for food for the week. So UCLA runs a place called the food pantry where these students could drop by anytime and pick up whatever food they need. And they also provide school supplies to these students by passing out bags of supplies to them at the beginning of the school year. And we've actually volunteered at some of these events. UCLA also has a Blue and Gold Opportunity Plan for families whose income is less than $80,000 so that these students' tuitions will be fully covered. All of these programs take up a lot of money, and plus they have to pay for all their faculty, administrative staff, and the upkeep of the beautiful campus. So all this takes a lot of resources. So you may be wondering today, why should I be concerned about this? As I don't have kids in school and I'm already done with college. I want to let you know, because as Northrop Grumman employees, we have a great privilege because our company is concerned about education. And they actually have a matching program for education in which they increased this year the maximum from $1,000 per employee to $2,500 per employee now. But the deadline is whatever you give, they'll match dollar for dollar to the school of your choice. But there's a deadline, and the deadline is October 31st. All you have to do is to go on the company website, go under corporate responsibility, and search for matching gifts for education, and they'll provide you all the details. And so you might really want to consider giving to your local elementary or school district, your alma mater, or your niece or nephew's school. But whatever you choose to give, I know your gift will not be wasted. As Arthur Fletcher, head of the United Negro College Fund, once said, "A mind is a terrible thing to waste." Let's impact our society by seeing to it that our education system will not struggle due to economic shortfalls.